Inflation is certainly falling. It's down again. But Rishi Sunak has also claimed that debt is falling, and he's been castigated for a false claim by Robert Choate, the chair of the UK Statistics Authority, who says that national debt is not already falling and that the claim may have undermined trust in the government's use of statistics. Well, you'd only have to look at the small boats issue to see that the government's use of statistics is wide of the reality. And he wrote a letter to the Liberal Democrat Treasury spokesperson Sarah Olney and said that on separate meetings, Sunak had suggested he'd met his objective, which is one of his five aims. And you're forgiven for not knowing what Sunak's five aims are, because nobody can remember those five aims. You only remember three. And I don't remember even those three. I'm just not interested in five. The figure five is not a memorable figure. That's the point. That's why Julius Caesar stuck to the tricolon. The tricolon works. Five doesn't work, whether you're Rishi Sunak or Keir Starmer or the Pope. It doesn't work. Five doesn't work. 10 doesn't work. I defy anybody to be able to reel off the 10 commandments. You can't. 3, easy. 5, 10, difficult. And the OBR said in November that underlying public sector net debt was due to rise from 84.9% of GDP to a peak of 93.2% in 2026 to 27. It would then fall slightly in 2028 to 29. So this is being said at the same time that Rishi Sunak is confidently saying that debt is falling. You only have to look at your own accounts to know debt is not falling. You are not suffering while the rest of the country is celebrating. No, we're all in the same boat together, except for Rishi Sunak, who seems to have some sort of rosy-eyed view, the pilot gazing at the stars and getting it wrong. He's also gone on about Rwanda. I'm confident we have the ability to send people to Rwanda. You wouldn't expect me to comment on confidential discussions. Confident and confidential. Very entertaining how he mixes those two ideas up. And he was again reluctant to say how much Britain would pay Rwanda in total beyond the £290 million already confirmed. But he has said there would be volume payments depending on how many people were deported. And he's also talked about cutting hospital waiting lists. I think that's just a pipe dream, because they've grown and grown and grown. I think when we're now up to 7.7 million, and Rishi Sunak and Downing Street are blaming that on industrial action. I'm sure industrial action doesn't help, but again, I point out that the part of the NHS that doesn't ever seem to go on strike is the bureaucracy, the bureaucrats, who are the best paid in the entire NHS. Why do they not go on strike? Because they're very well paid. For doing what? For getting most of it wrong.